What's going on, everyone? Laughing here, and today I am doing something a little bit different. And we're going to do the first episode of Why I Buy, where basically I just explain why I'm buying a specific game or item or whatever. Um, and if it's a game, usually before release, kind of looking at some reviews, kind of throwing my opinion in there, what have you, and maybe get some sort of informed opinion before you potentially buy something. Hopefully, it's just kind of good video in case you're on the fence on a specific game or item, what have you. And I think it'll also be kind of fun, kind of going back and looking at this, especially if it's a specific game I review, which Monster Hunter Rise, which is the game I am doing today, is a game I do plan on reviewing at some point. So, as I said before, it is Monster Hunter Rise that is coming out today, baby. A few things on the Monster Hunter franchise. Monster Hunter World for me was my first Monster Hunter game. That is the game that got me into the series. I had it on PS4. I really enjoyed playing it. I actually ended up getting an entire PS4 for my wife. And just so we could play together. We had a lot of fun. We played the Iceborne DLC. We didn't actually end up beating it, sadly enough. Life just kind of got in the way. But we had a lot of fun playing that game. Going into Monster Hunter Rise, I did play the demo, and I'll be honest, I really was not a super big fan of the demo. And I'll be honest, I think it was my own fault. One of the things I didn't like was the control schemes on there, which you can go back and kind of tweak and have it be more like Monster Hunter World. I didn't really know it at the time, so I kind of put it back down. And after I found out that info, I tried to pick it back up and get right into an actual like fight with a monster, and it just didn't go well. So there is a demo for this on the Switch Play Store. So if you have a Switch and you are looking to potentially pick this up, I think that is a good indication if you like the demo or not. Still, that being said, I was not a fan of the demo, but I am still going to buy it. I think the reviews for the game actually tell a lot, tell a really big story. Like I said, I think the demo experience I had was my own fault. I don't really blame the actual demo itself, and I do know the progression in the game is going to do a much better job of ramping me up to those more bigger boss fights that are in the demo, whereas just doing like a really simple mission and then going into a more of like a medium difficulty monster like the demo does. So do kind of keep that in mind if you do play it. Also, there have been some really great additions that I'm really excited for. Even in the demo, I was a really big fan of them, and you'll kind of see in the reviews here that these additions are really brought up a lot. One of the kind of negatives of Monster Hunter World is you engage the monster, fight, 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 they run away. And it's kind of a process to go, resharpen your blade, maybe eat something, and then track them down. You usually have to stop because you want to, refuel. You need to get ready for the next kind of engagement with the monster, and it kind of slows down the combat and kind of slows down the time as well. Whereas Monster Hunter Rise, not so much of an issue because you have a new pal called a Palamute that you can actually ride, so you can actually get to point A to point B much faster, and you can be doing a lot of the things I just said, eating, sharpening your weapon, what have you, while you're actually on your Palamute. So kind of makes that kind of negative that was in Monster Hunter World kind of go away in Monster Hunter Rise, which I'm really big fan of. And then there's also a new thing called the wire bug. So the wire bug is just a new mechanic that actually ups your mobility even more. I didn't really experience this in the demo, but I guess it also makes some of the punishing of monsters a little bit easier to deal with because you can recover a little bit faster instead of getting like knocked down or stun locked, what have you. I guess the wire bugs can kind of help alleviate some of that, which is really nice. Monster Hunter World, that was some of the most frustrating times is when I just get stun locked for a monster, and then you're basically praying to the Monster Hunter gods that they don't just steamroll you after that. So I'm kind of happy about that fact that I have a little bit more of a chance in case I do screw up. So that's kind of cool. So when I was looking into buying Monster Hunter Rise, I was kind of on the fence as to whether I was going to wait or actually buy it day of, and I actually am going to buy it day of now. I was kind of looking at a few different reviews, kind of seeing what they were saying, the kind of the positive things, and the thing I kind of believe is Monster Hunter is more of a niche game. So I think it has typically more of a chance of reviewers not liking it or actually coming away with mixed reviews because it's not necessarily for the everybody audience where more games like Call of Duty or I don't know, like a football game or what have you more kind of more for casual kind of gamers or players, what have you. So the fact that we have so many kind of like positive reviews for Monster Hunter Rise is very promising. These are kind of the few things that I picked up on while going through them that really helped me kind of go over the edge of actually deciding to buy this game. So positive thing. So better traversal with the Palamute. Palamutes are also super cool and fun to ride. Those are your new kind of cool rideable dog friends. The wire bugs make traversal and combos awesome, allowing players to go to different areas that you wouldn't usually be able to do in other Monster Hunter games, which is cool. Also adds new moves in combat and allows you to mount other monsters too. And when you mount a monster, you can actually have that monster attack another monster. In Monster Hunter World, it was very reliant on you running into another monster, or rather the monster you're hunting running into another monster, which led to a lot of really cool interactions I actually really liked in Monster Hunter World. I thought it was really cool, but now you can also be more part of the action, be a little bit more proactive instead of reactive with those encounters, which I really dig. A lot of reviews were saying that this game looks really good on the Switch, which I'm really pumped on, which I'm not super surprised on because Monster Hunter Rise is actually going to be coming to PC early next year. So I'm not super surprised it looks super great and that they've really kind of made the game loop really good. Not surprised at all, but it's kind of reassuring to see that it is also looking very good on the Switch. There's also a wide variety of monsters. One thing in Monster Hunter World is you fight a lot of wyverns, which ain't bad. It's cool. I like hunting, big dragon fellas, but there's a lot more different monsters in Monster Hunter Rise from what I've been reading, which I'm really excited about. It's always fun to kind of fight something different instead of having the big flappy monsters you got to fight all the time. So that's kind of cool. The few negative things that I found, and like when I say negatives, like people were either kind of like lukewarm on them or just kind of like, yeah, it's a thing I'm gonna bring up. Where some of the end game content is locked behind multiplayer. Multiplayer can be daunting. Honestly, with the multiplayer side of it, I heard it's great from some reviewers and just okay from others. So I kind of take that as you will. And that the story is a little bit more light and less intense compared to other Monster Hunter games. For me, I mean, yeah, having a story is cool, but I didn't really play Monster Hunter World for the story. I played it for the awesome gameplay loop, which I absolutely love. And there's also a lot of mixed feelings on the rampages as well. It's a new mode where there's kind of like tower defense vibes, I guess, as well. And you also fight multiple monsters, which kind of seems kind of cool. I guess there were some frame rate dips here and there, but it wasn't anything like too crazy that made the game unplayable. And it was mostly when people were in multiplayer, so not too worried about that. I don't know if I'm actually gonna be playing multiplayer. We only have one Switch at the house, and I'm kind of waiting to get a Switch until if a Switch Pro ever comes out, I guess. If I don't hear anything this year, I probably will snag one, and I might be able to play with my wife. But at first anyway, I'm not really caring too much about multiplayer, but we'll kind of see. So kind of with all these positive reviews, these really awesome changes that they've made to the Monster Hunter formula have really helped me kind of push me over the fence to decide to actually buy this game. So hopefully it turns out well. We'll kind of see. Look out for my review when it comes out. Obviously, Capcom isn't sending me a review copy. I have to go to a game store and buy it and then play it. So it is going to take some time. I'm also still working on Persona 5 Strikers, which is like any Persona game, I guess, super long. It's not nearly as long as Persona 5 or Persona 5 Royale, but it's long enough that like I think I'm maybe a fourth of the way through. And it's been out like over a month. But I have a feeling I'm going to be beating Monster Hunter Rise before that and, get a review out to everyone who's interested. So, yeah, it kind of be, I thought this would be kind of fun to kind of, give you guys my opinion of why I'm buying the game and kind of look back on the review and see if that stuff is true. Hopefully you found this informative, and down below, tell me, are you looking forward to playing Monster Hunter Rise? Are you buying it day one? Are you going to wait for more reviews, for more user reviews, or my review? Let me know down in the comments down below. I just want to say thank you so much for watching the video. I would not be here without you guys. It's much appreciated. And hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Do something good for yourself. And as always, take care.